Well, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump just received some very good news via RFK Jr., who had to sue in both North Carolina and also Michigan because liberals wanted to keep him on the ballot. It's funny and ironic considering they wanted him off the ballot during the primaries because their god Biden would have been threatened. Of course, they had to remove Biden because he was so bad, but that's neither here nor there. You can see this huge win for MAGA. Trump just keeps winning. He can't lose. Look at this. The courts in both Michigan and North Carolina have ordered RFK Jr.'s name to be removed from the ballot. Democrat operatives were working to keep him on the ballot in an effort to hurt Trump. And not only that, it's been reported, I mean, they were trying to kick Jill Stein off of the Green Party, and she's come out and she said the Democrats are just horrible. They hate democracy. They gaslight everyone, just like Antifa does when they say they're anti-fascist. They're the biggest fascists ever. It's the same thing with the Democrats saying they're trying to fight for democracy while they're kicking people off the ballot and they're trying to steamroll everyone in their path as they try and keep power here in 2024. Their administration was so bad they had to remove the incumbent president. Even with that advantage, you would think the incumbent president gets an advantage, but they were getting crushed so bad and Biden was doing so terribly. They had to have an audible and force him out through a blackmail process with Nancy Pelosi admitting it. So this is all totally illegal. But RFK Jr. now, it's come out. Originally, he was coy. He was saying, you know what? We could potentially still win, saying that RFK Jr., if like Trump and Harris tied at 269, RFK Jr. could somehow still win. So vote for me in non-swing states. But now it's come out through an email that RFK Jr. is telling all of his voters, no matter which state you're in, vote for Trump. And so every vote counts. And even you've got a situation where he's on the ballot, maybe still in Michigan, that could potentially be a few extra votes that could be going to and should be going to Trump, or maybe they just won't vote, or maybe they'll still vote for third party. I'm not saying they're going to go to Trump for sure, but when you've got RFK Jr.'s name on that ballot, you would think with RFK Jr. endorsing Trump in all the swing states, having his name off, it's just going to make it easier for people to vote for Trump rather than still vote for RFK Jr. or something like that. You want his name off of the ballot so people just see Trump and they vote for Trump because that's who RFK Jr. is endorsing. That's not exactly how it works. We know that some of those voters are not going to vote for Trump because there's not an extreme correlation between RFK Jr. voters and Trump supporters, but it's still there because RFK Jr. has endorsed Trump in the fight to keep American free speech. We know the liberals don't want it on the internet. We know now their plan. This is what I predict. It's come out now. I'm going to get to it with Trump's sentencing getting delayed. Of course, it got delayed. We've been predicting that for a while now. They're total cowards. But it just goes to show you how much of and it probably would have gotten delayed anyways, to be fair. But just knowing the context of what we've been talking about with the whole felon tag and how much of a backfire it's been for them and how people, not only do they not buy it, they think that it's a total kangaroo court, which it is I don't want to go through it again, but with Alvin Bragg campaigning and saying, I'm going to hold the Trump family accountable, and then doing something it's a legal maneuver we've never seen with the statute of limitations already gone. They like create a new law to make it to where Trump can be charged, and then he gets charged, but that's not good enough. They have to elevate it to a felony from a misdemeanor. But no. Alvin Bragg was never going to be biased. He only ran to get Trump and then changed a law so the statute of limitations wouldn't apply, and then elevated all the charges from misdemeanors to felonies, but we're still arguing this. This is absurd. But that's just one of the cases. This is what they do, and it's like the whole stuff, and I might do a separate video on the Tim Pool stuff. They'll just label you something, and all their dumbass supporters will repeat it. It's the same thing as the Russian hoax, and so it just becomes true to them. Like the actual facts of the matter don't matter, but Russia stole the election. Russia stole the election. Russia. That's all it is. And now they're doing it to some conservatives trying to undermine them and take away their influence. And so I'll probably do another video on that. But this is really what's going on here. So you can see RFK Jr. having to sue because originally he couldn't get on a Democratic primary ballot because they were afraid that Biden was going to possibly lose to him, or at least RFK Jr. would make it to where Biden became undesirable if a bunch of people started voting for him within the Democratic Party. That would lend doubt to Biden and his campaign. So they forced him off of that. But now RFK, they're saying you got to remain on the ballot here, but we're going to try and force Jill Stein of the Green Party off. And we've also got Cornel West. We're going to bribe him by offering to pay his debt to get him off of the ballot. And he's exposed that and he's not leaving. And so, why are the Democrats the ones that love democracy, but they're the ones trying to kick everyone off of the ballots or keep RFK Jr. on because it benefits them when he wants to be removed? He's saying, "I need to be removed." This is big because I don't want people to vote for me instead of Trump in these important swing states. We know how close these swing states are. They get decided by 10, 15,000. I mean, look at what was Wisconsin, 0.3%. We do have Trump talking about the debate on Tuesday. It does kind of seem like, if I'm gonna be non-biased, it does kind of seem like Trump's giving himself an excuse here. I mean, we'll be honest, it does, because he's saying I'm going into a very hostile territory. He's saying ABC is the worst ever. He's giving himself a little bit of an out here. With Trump, this is just Trump's personality. Like, let's be honest, if Trump loses the debate, he's going to say the moderators were horrible. If he wins the debate, he's going to say the moderators were fair. We understand that, but that's not the point. The point is that he's going to win the debate. Number one, the moderators, because it's the same rules as the CNN, they're not going to be the stars of the show because they have very little over what happens during that in terms of, moving the conversation on. Because remember, with the mics muted, it's one person talking, the other mic is muted. If the other person interjects, like how we saw it in 2020 and 2016, it was up to the moderator whether or not to yell at the person interrupting, and that kind of derails the conversation. The only thing that ABC can really do is jam like abortion down, everyone's throat for 30 minutes. If they did that, then yes, that would be biased against Trump. But if it's just like one topic, I mean, I would think you would get immigration, you would get the economy. Obviously, what happened with the shooting, that's unfortunately probably going to be talked about. I'm saying unfortunate for Trump. That was very sad what happened. But they use these things. Liberals tend to use these things. See, when there were migrants that killed white girls, I never used that for political gain. Liberals use these things. They use death for political gain. It's very sad. But they're going to use it, and they're probably going to talk about that. And so that's another negative thing. But guys, understand the big picture here. The thing that impacts most Americans the most every day, it's economy. It's the immigration problem. Those are the key topics. And if you look at any top poll, what is the number one issue? It's actually now immigration, but it's immigration, economy, and then there's a massive gap. And then there's other things, that's where the abortion comes in. And maybe abortion now is number 3 because it was like number 5. But the reason it's moving up is because that's liberals' only winning topic. And so they keep talking about it because that's their only winning topic. They can't talk about abortion, or excuse me, they can't talk about the economy because they lose that. And it's just like, it's like it's almost like a trick question. Who do you trust with the economy, Trump or Harris? And it's like, what? Like we have 25% inflation under Harris. What are you talking about? Like, this is a joke question, right? Like, and I know liberals will be like, well, they hate Trump no matter what. But it's almost like, I mean, it's like, is 2 + 2 4 or 5? And it's like, are you kidding me? Like seriously? Who do you trust with the economy more? Who do you trust with immigration more? Is 3 + 3 6 or 7? Who do you? I mean, it's like, she's endorsed Trump's policy. Why would we vote for the woman that endorsed? She's endorsed the border. She's showing all the border wall in all of her ads. Can anyone ask her why she's doing this? Why has she endorsed Donald Trump and his border wall idea when she had 50 tweets saying how much it was a waste of money? Now she's endorsed it 2 years later. The amount of flip-flopping is just out of control. And also, there's just nobody can get her to do an interview. And I guess that's their strategy, is they don't want to do an interview. And now you've got this court date getting pushed back. Let's see if we can find this. RFK has officially pushed back the start of voting season. No North Carolina ballots can be mailed until his appeal is resolved. Breaking update: North Carolina will not be able to mail absentee ballots on Friday as scheduled because of a court order related to Robert F. Kennedy's appeal to be removed from the ballot. So voting, I thought voting started in Pennsylvania on the 6th, which is today. But I think it's North Carolina as well. So voting, the early voting is starting like today. But apparently RFK Jr. is getting it pushed back because he wants to be taken off the ballot, and he's sued to do it. Michigan Court of Appeals panel grants RFK Jr.'s request to remove his name from the ballot there in Michigan. Donald Trump's sentencing postponed until after the election on the 26th of November. You can see that's what it says. Ordered. This is very blurry. The sentencing on the matter, if necessary, adjourned on the 26th at 10 a.m. And so now people are starting to wonder, is this their fallback to where they try and jail Trump if he becomes the president elect? But of course, he can pardon himself, so it doesn't matter. But there's rumors now that if Trump loses, they're going to jail him and also Elon Musk. And they said because Elon Musk is promoting free speech on the internet, he needs to be jailed. And that's what these people. I mean, that's basically what it is. They're gonna for sure go after Musk under they can't do it right now because it would be a terrible look in terms of the election for independent people. They have to save it and wait. And Elon needs to understand this and say, they're gonna come after me. And this is all they just have to say random stuff that doesn't even make sense. Maybe say Elon Musk is a Russian spy, and you'll get all the dumbass liberals that Russia, 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 Russia. I mean, I could probably come out like tomorrow and do a video and be like, guys, I think Vladimir Putin controls Elon Musk's brain, and they'd probably be like, oh my god, Elon Musk is a Russian agent. Like that's how dumb these people are with Russia. It's just anytime they hear the word Russia, it's an erection. It's crazy. It's like a climax. I mean, it's ridiculous. But so this is a big issue because they're going to try and jail Elon Musk. I'm telling you that right now. If Harris wins, that administration will go after Trump. They will go after Elon Musk. And, if you try and fight for freedom of speech on the internet, your reward is jail. But that's why it's not going to happen. That's why there's all these liberals now who are like, look, I'm socially a liberal, but I have to come out against this. We're not like Venezuela. We're not like Brazil. Why are liberals endorsing or not even condoning what happened with Brazil? And you've got just the crazy liberalism and socialism happening in Brazil and Venezuela and how horrible it is with people trying to leave those countries. It's just like, well, obviously it's not nearly as bad, but people in the United States, you go to these heavy liberal states and they have to leave them. Look at what's happening with the gangs now from Venezuela going into these liberal cities and taking over. It's very scary. And you're talking about liberals who want to defund the police. I mean, these people, they had that movement. They're trying to detach themselves from it and say, no, we never thought about doing that. No, that was a 2020 thing. And remember the race things that happened in 2020. And they're like, oh, we got to defund the police now and not even have a society. That's how deranged they are. And so they're pushing Trump's sentence back until after the election. They probably hope to jail him. By the sound of it, Trump is going to be jailed in New York if he loses the election, and then possibly they would go after Elon Musk after that, and that's what these people do. And remember, Donald Trump, he did not go after, because listen, when you think about it, it's like you win in a crazy upset in 2016. Do you really want to drug up the whole and make your administration about going after your former rival, person that you beat, Hillary Clinton? No. But liberals will tell you Hillary Clinton was completely innocent. Yeah, that you know what? All she did was acid wash her email motherboard. That's really what innocent people do. Yeah, innocent people do that all the time. You're right. No, she was innocent. Yeah, but that just goes to show you. And then, you want to talk about an $8,000 fine for just complete false information? I don't say the words disinformation or misinformation because those words are just false information on. False information with the dossier and miring Trump's administration. If Trump did that, the Obama spying on Trump, it's all so bad and it's all such a two-tier system. And we all see through it and independents see through it. And that's why Trump's up by so much in the latest odds. And that's why Trump's going to win. And that's why Elon Musk, the number one innovator in the world, has decided to support Trump. And then they say, well, only dumb people support Trump. No, you're right. Elon Musk, he's a real idiot. No, I know, guys. Elon's an idiot. He's really stupid. No. Elon Musk supports Trump. He must be real dumb. Yeah, that's it, right? Elon was a liberal 4 years ago. Now he supports Trump. But then they try and explain it. And Elon will pay, 20. He said he paid $15 billion in taxes. It's not even a tax thing. Our economy, there was a really good video talking about how ridiculous the taxes that they're trying to implement, especially the unrealized gains tax. And there was a really good visual on that. By the way, this dumbass account decided to triple down on that Vance statement. This is just yesterday. Vice President Harris said it doesn't have, or wait, what? Yesterday, Vice President Harris said it doesn't have to be this way in response to another senseless school shooting. Donald Trump and JD Vance think school shootings are a fact of life and we have to get over it. Yeah, so this is once again doubling down on misquoting Vance. Number one, Trump didn't even say that. That was Vance who said it, and you misquoted him. And so it's all fake, it's all false. But this is their Super Bowl. This is how they campaign. So it's gotten so bad for the Harris campaign. Obviously, she can't do interviews. I guess she's just not capable. I mean, I guess we just have to accept that at this point. She is not capable of doing interviews. That's just the reality. If you've done one interview that was not a solo interview since you become the nominee, you are not capable of doing interviews. So that's number one. Number two, she cannot have rallies because she can't get people to the rallies. They have to rent out dozens of buses, so she can only do like one rally a week because nobody goes to her rallies because nobody cares. So this is where their campaign really is. It's lying and manipulating false statements online, and this is really what we're dealing with. But guys, that is just the update. RFK Jr., this is big news coming off the ballots, and that's good news for Trump. Any vote, all the votes help, and certainly, RFK, he wouldn't get 0 votes if he was on the ballot in Michigan. He would get some votes, and you would think not all those votes are going to be transferred from RFK Jr. to Trump, but at least a decent amount. Maybe it helps Trump by a few thousand, but either way, we will have to see. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.